How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Time is running out to buy Bitcoin. I want to talk about why that is and why it's really just important to get in now or to have some allocation to Bitcoin now because it's not there's not much time to get it cheaply. Of course, you'll always be able to buy Bitcoin because you can always buy Satoshis, but there's some things happening right now that are going to push up the price. We have some news, we have a lot of accumulation, we have some big whales buying, some that I had not seen. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video. If you've seen videos from me like this before, you might as well hit subscribe because YouTube will keep on pushing them to you and you'll probably want to watch it because we're at a time where there's just a lot happening. You want to get as much information as possible. You want to be plugged in. This is not the time to tune out of the market. And yesterday, I think I made 5 videos or something like that. Today, I'm going to take it a little bit easier unless there's a lot of news. Going to enjoy the nice weather outside, but hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this one. There's also a link down there to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrency on leverage. It's not right for everyone, but if you are someone that likes to look at technicals or if you're someone that wants to get a little bit more positioned in the market, you can chart everything right here on the screen. All deal indicators are on screen as well, easy to see. There's a 20% deposit bonus that can be used towards fees for the first 2 weeks. And they have a lot of different assets on here that you can trade. And I also have some other positions open here. You can see how much you can make on leverage. These are just some positions I've had open for a while. 2,200, 1,000, $6, 2,600 USDT up. So you can make a lot of money on them. Just know that you can always lose if you play leverage wrong. So definitely check out that link underneath the video if you're interested. Also, just last thing, HGAalgo had another perfect call where we moved up to 51,700 on Bitcoin. It called out bullish momentum on the 1 hour and that just kept on going up. So if you had used this, like I keep on talking about, use this bullish momentum to know that the market's probably going to go up, you could get in on this massive move. And mixed with leverage, that could be huge. I mean, this is about a 5% move or 10% move. So if you're on 10x leverage, you could have made 100% in a very short amount of time. So there's a link to HGAlgo underneath the video as well. Now, I don't know what it is. I love the memes. I love this meme specifically. Bitcoin up 10% a week. My boss, why were you late? Me, watch your mouth. And it's funny to me. I love these memes, and I think part of it is we do forget that in the end, it's the gains, the reason we invest is really just to have freedom, and this is really just talking about that freedom, like being able to do what you want with your own time. But there's so many good memes going around right now. Everyone's feeling it right now because Bitcoin's up, and for good reason. You invested, you called it right. Everyone that's bought up until the last 24 hours is in profit. I guess all the way to back the last cycle, but anyone that's bought in the last 2 years is pretty much in profit. So congratulations to you if you've stuck around. Now, I don't think we're going to stay around this level for too long. I'll explain why that is, but the ETFs broke an all-time high record today at 2.4 billion. This is yesterday. And we did get a lot of inflows, about 6,500 Bitcoin. I honestly thought it would be higher. Looks like there are some people trading back and forth, some people selling the ETFs, but we had a record high volume day, and we did have the third or fourth largest day, it looks like, for Bitcoin inflows, and we've only had one outflow in the last 21 days, so that is quite positive. There are also other people there buying right now too, like Mr. 100. She already woke up and bought 334 Bitcoin, which is just nuts. They're buying a third of the new supply every single day of Bitcoin from Bitcoin miners, just like clockwork. 300, 400, 500, just day after day. And it's not just Mr. 100 or Mrs. 100. There's this account that I hadn't even seen. A couple days ago, I talked about how there was a new person that bought 26,000 Bitcoin at one time. I missed this one. This wallet came in the top 100 as well. On the 22nd of February, they bought and transferred 15,484 Bitcoin. Now, of course, I realize how the wallets work. Someone could have already owned this, but chances are it's new Bitcoin. Someone bought 15,000 Bitcoin, which that's nearly $1 billion. Already they're in the profit significantly. There are wallets like this that come up all the time. Here's another one that just bought a lot of Bitcoin. 10,000 Bitcoin, then 6,000 Bitcoin. About a week apart, all happening in the last 2 weeks. Like there are probably 5 wallets in the top 100 that are brand new that, or just put in a lot of Bitcoin over the last month. So there are a lot of people trying to buy. Of course, there are ETFs. There are just individuals. And then we also know that there are people shorting. So this is some of the fuel to the fire. It's not just people buying Bitcoin, right, that are pushing it up. It's also people shorting. For example, Capo said he took all profits on altcoin positions, totally out of the market now. He doesn't say that he's shorting, but he may be shorting. And then we also know Gareth Soloway is shorting. I saw this from a couple different people, and I can't confirm this is true because I'm not part of his private group, but I know that he was shorting the market or shorting Bitcoin. It looks like he increased his position. So he said around, I think it was 50, that he was shorting 1% of his portfolio. Now he entered at 57.1 with approximately 10% of the portfolio. That's kind of crazy. Like, he's doubling down on this bad trade. His goal is for Bitcoin to fall down to 30,000, and he'll close it at 70,000. Like, as soon as we break all-time highs, he's closing this, or he's covering it. Now, there are some people that have already done this, and this is part of the reason we're being pushed up, is because they see, okay, if we break what we hit a week ago, and we hit 53,000, then I'll close it. And we go from 51 to 53, they close it, it pushes up the price, causes more shorts to get liquidated, and it keeps on happening. I could see this being some fuel to the fire too if we move up to all-time highs, which I think is very possible, even before the halving, which, keep in mind, we've never had that. In 2016, we were 130% away from the all-time high at this point in the cycle. In 2020, we were 100% from the all-time high at this point in the cycle. Right now, we're only 18% from the all-time high. So I think it's possible. And then we could get more shorts being liquidated as well. You can see 175 million of shorts liquidated in the last 24 hours on Bitcoin. Only 28 million of longs liquidated. And those are people, they're just 50x or 100x long, just aping in. You can also see some shorts being liquidated on Ethereum. Like, this is just a bullish time, and I'm not sure we're going to have cheap Bitcoin anymore. We're already seeing Bitcoin hit all-time highs in different currencies. I talked about this yesterday. Norway hitting all-time highs. But then today, Sweden. Bitcoin's hitting all-time highs in Sweden. This is really good because this causes people to look at Bitcoin again. This is what gets circulated through the newspapers. Not even really the newspapers. Who reads those anymore? That's buying Bitcoin. This circulates through online articles. This circulates to friends and family. Hey, Bitcoin's at an all-time high. Did you invest? I invested. I bought. And then more and more people buy. More and more people hear about. More and more people get FOMO. I don't think we stay at this price very long. I mean, we always could, right? We could even go back down. It's very possible. But what I've been saying is you don't want to miss out on this, because if you're someone, let's say you're not even shorting the market. Let's just say you're someone sitting out of the market. You're waiting for $40,000. The potential upside of waiting is you get, at this point, like a little bit less than 1.5 times more Bitcoin, right? So we go from, let's just call it 60,000. Let's say instead of buying at 60,000, you buy at 40,000, you get 1.5 times as much Bitcoin. Okay, what's the chance we fall down to 40,000? You'd have to have a lot of Bitcoin sold to go down to 40,000. The upside is you get 1.5 times as much Bitcoin. What are the chances we fall down there? Maybe 10%, maybe 5%. What do you miss out on? Well, you miss out on the hardest currency in the world that's being bought up by institutions, by billionaires. We're going into a time of loose monetary policy. Maybe we have a conservative 2x. Maybe we go up 4, 5, 6x on Bitcoin to the peak. Okay. Well, you miss out on let's call it a 4x to get an extra 50%. And there's a very small chance that we go down to 40,000. I think that's a bad bet, right? I'd rather be in an asset that I am pretty confident is going to go up 2x rather than sitting on the sidelines and waiting for 50% more, especially if there's not a good chance that we fall down there. So I think there are going to be more and more people that FOMO in. There are going to be more and more shorts that have to cover, because as it goes higher, more and more people think that this is stupid. We've never done this before. But yet they're not looking at the big picture. They're not looking at the new value, or the new players that are coming into the space that are just showing a lot of demand right now. Like they have so many people that want in on the Bitcoin ETFs, and it's not like if you're BlackRock and you have $1 billion client or something that you say, okay, we're going to allocate 5% of your portfolio to Bitcoin today. No, you dollar cost average. You're not trying to freak them out. You dollar cost average. So you buy over a couple weeks. And a lot of people still can't buy these yet. A lot of these ETFs have not gone through compliance, different places. So this is going to still have buying pressure for a long time. So I think we're going higher. I don't know about short term. I don't really care too much about short term. I think we're going higher long term. And I would not want to miss out on this asset. That's why I'm so heavily allocated right now to cryptocurrency and why I haven't sold. So let me know your thoughts on that underneath the video. I think we're moving higher. I don't think there's a ton of time left to get cheap Bitcoin. And I say cheap Bitcoin because it's under the all-time high. A lot of people think we'll see a lot of resistance around all-time high, and that's possible. But we could also just blow right past it, like we've blown through so many resistances so far. We've never seen this kind of bullish momentum before. We've never seen these kinds of buyers before. Everything is different. This time is different. Famous last words, but it is true. Every cycle is slightly different. So let me know your thoughts on that underneath the video. Of course, you'll always be able to buy Bitcoin. You can buy a Satoshi, which is 1/100 millionth of a Bitcoin, but you'll lose out on some upside if you're buying at all-time highs. Now, some people are getting a little bit excited out there. I've talked about Alvara before, a handful of times. I talked about Tencent and how to buy Tencent tokens, how to stake so that you can get in on launches like Alvara. And Alvara is looking really juicy. I've seen they have done some really good interviews with Altcoin Daily, with me, and with a few other influencers as well. The CEO has. But they just had a hugely successful public round on Tencent. They completely sold out, a total of $2.4 million. And I think this sold out really fast from what I heard. This sold out really fast. They do have their Uniswap listing on March 4. Now, of course, with these, a lot of the time they go up very quickly and then they fall down and then they kind of level out. But I've seen some crazy launches already this year. I'd be paying attention to this. If you can get an allocation at some point, you might want to consider, of course, this isn't financial advice, but I'd go do some research on what Alvara is doing because it could be a game changer and it could do really well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just know that I am going to be buying Alvara tokens as well. So I might be a little bit biased, but there's a reason that I'm buying the tokens, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Check out the links to Margex and also to Blowfin if you want to check them out, and also HGAlgo. I'll rest the voice today. Make sure it sounds a little bit better tomorrow. And I'll see you in the next video.